Greetings, fellow detectives. Wizard Kitten here, bringing you part 7 in our walkthrough for Nancy Drew, The Haunting of Castle Malloy. We just talked to Kyler a little bit. We got her some flowers, since she's feeling a little bit superstitious. Some flowers and some herbs that are supposed to kind of ward off bad omens, bad spirits, just bad energy in general. So we did that as our maid of honor duties. We haven't talked to Donal in a while, so I kind of want to go chat with him and see what's up. See if he's got any more information for us, especially since we just found that sheep pen. Maybe he can tell us, how to work that and what it's for. I have a feeling that would be useful. Just a feeling, Everything in a Nancy Drew game that she interacts with in any way has to be useful. One would think. All right. Into the pub. Talk to Donal.
What's on your mind, then?
What do you know about the stone pillars with all the weird writing on them?
I've never been able to make heads or tails of 'em. Even bought me a book on Ogham runes. Waste of good money, that was.
Ogham runes?
All those lines. Ancient Celtic symbols they are. Runes. Spell out something. I lack the time and patience to work out just what.
I wouldn't mind having a go at it. Do you think I could borrow your book?
Sorry to say, I'm not in a lending mood at the moment, lass. A wee bit of me favourite drum music would put me right, but the band can't be playing it because their drummer took sick. Looking for someone to take his place, they are.
I could probably fill in. I mean, not permanently, but...
Go to it, then. One ditty is all. Play it well enough, and the book'll be yours. Seamus will help you get started.
This just doesn't happen in real life.
What a fine lass you are for helping out the band. Now here's what you do. Watch the cue. When it reaches the drum, just hit the corresponding section of the bowline with the beater. Keep doing that till the song's over. And if you've kept the beat well enough, the band'll split their tips with you. They're about to start. Just watch the bar, keep your wits about you, and you'll do fine.
All right, basically just do what he said. As long as you have rhythm, it should be good. And I like to use the arrow keys, because then you don't have to move the mouse as quickly. I'm focusing, which is why I'm not saying anything. I feel like they don't actually match up with the beat of the song. I feel like I'm always just slightly behind, even though I'm hitting it when it lines up. Oops, that one was wrong. Oh, I messed up. 83. Not bad. Could have been worse.
Brilliant! Here's your share of the tips.
Oh, I get tips. Huzzah!
Sweet as clover to the honeybee, that was. Here's the book. Keep it as long as you like. I'll not soon have need of it.
Awesome, so this will help us translate those stone pillars.
Will you be wanting something else from me, then?
Have you ever been to the other side of the bog?
Do I look daft to you now? There's no walking across the bog. Once you fall in, there's no getting out. When I was your age, younger even, there was talk of an old gypsy woman who kept house in the bog, living all by herself, crazy as could be. But a tall tale is all it was. You stay clear of that bog, girl. There be no crossing it. Not if you're fond of living.
I'd better get going.
Be careful out there, lass.
Well, I am fond of living, but I have actually crossed the bog already. Haha. Mad skills here. Okay, if we go over to the games over here, there is an Easter egg that you can get from the dart game. And let me find my instructions quick. You need to get 4 bullseyes in the dart game and then miss all but the last dart. and you shoot it at the 1, and the egg is ours. So let's try this now that we have some coins. So we want to hit the bullseye 4 times in a row, right? Get 4 bullseyes and then miss all but the last one. Okay, so this is easier said than done because Nancy moves around a lot. But if you kind of just hover the mouse right over the bullseye, there we go. Oh, darn it, Nancy, you moved. See, and she's aiming it a little bit lower than the point of the dart actually goes, or she's hitting it a little bit lower. So you want to aim kind of for the top of the green circle. So now we're just kind of practicing. Right about there, maybe. Come on, Nancy, move it over to the side a little. Was that 50? That was 50, okay. So this is just, we'll consider this practice. To win the game, you have to get 0, I think. Oops. We landed in the red area on the 3. Oopsie. Okay, let's try that again. So now that we know that Nancy's going to throw them a little bit lower, let's try and get it right above the green circle here. And a little bit more to the right. Come on, Nancy, you can do this. Oh, shoot. Was that right? Was that 50? No, that was 25. That was 25. Ah. Nancy, I don't want to play anymore. Let me back away. Just fling a bunch of them. This is a strategy. It's not a very good one, but, you know. Bust! Okay, let's try that again. We can do this. Okay, 4 bullseyes. I want this Easter egg. There we go. That was perfect. Oh. Did I get it? Yep, I got it. Okay, that's 2. That's 3. That's 4. Okay, so now miss all of the other ones, like way miss. And then get the 1. Hey, we hear the chicken. Yay, we got a shamrock egg. Woo, Easter egg. Awesome. I love getting Easter eggs. It's so exciting. Okay, so now let's head back to the Ogham ruins now that we have a book that might help us translate it a little bit. Walk down our creepy pathway here and all the way back to the stone pillars. If you ever get lost in a Nancy Drew game, the thing that I find the most helpful is first, talk to all of the suspects. Second, call all of the phone friends. See if you can get any leads from any of them. If any of them mention or anything or give you something, then follow that lead and then you're unstuck. If none of them are talking to you and you have nothing else, wander around to all the locations and see if there's something that you're missing, something that you're supposed to be clicking on. Benchy. That's so scary. Okay, so now if we look in the Ogham Ruins book we have here, the Ancient Celtic Sabbaths. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong. Ancient Celtic society lived by the celestial skies, and the sun, moon, and stars defined their calendar year and celebrations. Though the summer and winter solstices were honored, the 4 major Sabbaths, or festivals, were the midpoints between solstice and equinox. These 4 celebrations were Samhain, Imbolc, Beltane, and Lugnasa. Because true written language did not appear in Ireland until the 6th century AD, no Celtic historical text detailing the celebrations exist. Lore and tradition were instead passed on orally by bards. In the 4th century AD, an early version of the written word appeared as the Ogham alphabet. Known now as Primitive Irish, it contained 20 letters split into 4 groups of 5 letters, marked by a series of notches on a straight line. So this is the alphabet we're going off here. Examples of Ogham inscriptions can still be seen today in stone ruins all across Ireland. Written on the page, the letters read left to right, but on a stone marker, they read from bottom to top. See, this is why it's important to read this book. The letters read from bottom to top. This alphabet eventually gave way to Old Irish, ancestor of today's modern Irish, and written manuscripts finally began to appear. However, with centuries of history already passed, many of the ancient Celtic beliefs and traditions were never transcribed. What other secrets the 4 major Sabbaths may have held have been lost forever. Samhain was the start of both the Celtic New Year and the dark half of the year. The Celts believed that the dark preceded light, with the day beginning at dusk. Observed on November 1st, this is important to note, on November 1st, Samhain was the precursor to All Hallows' Eve, or Halloween as it is now called. It was also the time of the year when the veil between the world of the living and the other world was at its thinnest. Places were set at the feast table for the dead, as inhabitants from either world could cross the boundaries on this night. All home hearth fires were extinguished to signal the closing of the year. A new bonfire was then ignited, heralding the New Year's beginning and fresh starts. Individual firebrands were lit from its flames and taken back to relight the hearth. The new year and the coming winter had been ushered in. Okay, so that's what we know about Samhain? Yes, Samhain. Or Samhain. Samhain. Imbolc honored Brigid, the goddess of poetry, smithcraft, and healing. Translated as in the belly, symbolizing the spring lambs that would soon be born, the celebration took place on February 1st or 2nd. That's important. A festival of hearth and home in modern times, it is also known as St. Brigid's Day. The traditional lighting of candles represented the imminent return of the sun in all its warmth. Beltane, precursor to May Day, was celebrated on the full moon nearest the midpoint between the vernal equinox and summer solstice, typically near or on May 1st. That's important. This festival celebrated the start of the light half of the year and the beginning of the pastoral summer season. As the Fertility Festival, it honored life. Like Samhain, the boundary between worlds was thin enough to cross on this night. To provide protection, twin bonfires were kindled from 9 sacred woods. Livestock was driven between the fires for purification against disease and to bring luck in the coming months. Firebrands were again taken from the bonfires to relight the hearths at home. And last one, Lughnasadh announced the first harvest and the autumnal harvest to come. Around August 1st, as the fruits began to ripen, this festival was celebrated with dancing and games. It was also a favored time for hand fasting. These trial marriages lasted for a year and a day, at which time the couple could either end the relationship or formalize it with a permanent marriage. That's an interesting tradition. But August 1st is important for Lughnasadh. So for each of those 4 festivals, you need to write down the name and then the date that they take place on. They kind of symbolize the start of a certain season, really. And that's what these trees are all about. And then if we look at this other book that we found way back here, we see the Zodiac Constellations that correspond to those different times of year. Now, this is tricky because there's the constellation and then there's the astrological time of year. And a few of those could apply to both of the time periods that we were looking for. So it's important to maybe try both of them or see which ones are available. And we start with, we go around in this order. We go counterclockwise with winter, fall, summer, spring. Winter, fall, summer, spring. Which is not the order that things usually go in. I mean, spring, summer, fall, winter is the order, but we go the opposite way. Okay, so if you look in the sky here, we see a constellation that looks very similar to this one. This one right here. So we can say, we're pretty certain that this constellation is supposed to go here. And that would be the constellation that goes along with Beltane, or May 1st, which is the start of the summer season. So which tree looks the most summery? The one with all of the green leaves on it, I would say. And Beltane starts with a B, which is a single line to the side, like this. Okay, so if that's the summer season, then when we go counterclockwise, we're going to want spring. So let's see if that's correct. So spring up here would be February 1st, or the start of Imbolc. So the constellation we want is probably going to be this one right here. It looks kind of like a funky fish sort of thing? Not sure. Anyway, spring is when we have just a few leaves growing on the trees. So this lightly leaved one. And then the start of Imbolc is 5 horizontal lines at the bottom, like this one. So this is what says Imbolc. Okay, so if we go to the side again, we did summer, we did spring, and now we'd want to do winter. So winter is November 1st, which is the start of Semaine. And the constellation we want is the one that kind of looks like a little snake. This one here, which I think you can kind of see that in the stars. And then the tree that you would associate with winter would be this one, because there is no leaves on it. No leaves whatsoever. And then we have Semaine, which is the name of this. Oh, is this one right here. It's already there with the 4 horizontal lines to the right. So then the last season we need to do is Lugnasa, which is autumn. The only other constellation we have is this one. Autumn leaves are falling, and then Lugnasa would be 2 to the right. And we did it! We unlocked something. We unlocked another one of these strange little printing things. Very interesting. Okay. We did it, though. So now we have 3 of these printing press things. 1, 2, 3. And I believe we need 4. So we are still missing 1. Now, we still haven't heard anything from Donal about the sheep. But let's go inside and maybe talk to Kit a little bit. And then we did find another sheet that could work as a puzzle in Fiona's old room. The name of the little girl that died.
What's going on?
I found Matt's luggage in here, right over there.
What? Over where?
It was behind the cots.
How'd it get there?
Looks to me like someone was trying to hide it.
Well, it wasn't me. Matt hid it. Oh my gosh. He didn't go back to London. He's been here the whole time. Kyler was right. Oh my gosh.
You sound kinda disappointed.
Marrying Kyler is the biggest mistake he could possibly make. If this means that's what he intends to do, you bet I'm disappointed.
I couldn't help but overhear the discussion you and Kyler had in the library.
That sure didn't go like I planned. All this talk of fairy kidnappings and practical jokes, I just thought it was time to clear the air, but what happens? Not only did she accuse me of being the bad guy in all this, but as it turns out, she had it right, and I had it wrong. Matt didn't walk out on her. His luggage proves it.
The part about your still having feelings for her, was she right about that too?
Yeah. As for what, if anything, I'm gonna do about it, I haven't quite figured that out.
Time for me to scoot.
Keep it real.
Wow, that was a deep conversation. I just remembered that we can actually get another Easter egg back at the stone pillars that we were just at, so let's go back to those, now that we've confronted Kit about his feelings. Oops. Nancy, don't run into walls. That's not healthy. That's not good. Follow our little path back here to the stone pillars. Okay, so to get this Easter egg, we go to the stone pillars, and at the head pillar, which I believe is just the one that we go to right away. If not, we'll try another one. But we turn the top stone twice. 1, 2. The middle stone 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And the third stone once. 1. Then turn them each 4 times in order. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Aha! It worked! Solve the math puzzle and then turn the leprechaun states in the corresponding clock directions. So each of the leprechauns here needs to be turned in the directions of the math puzzle. So let's take that and go do that quick. They can't just give us an Easter egg, we also have to do math. I like math. I really enjoyed it when I was in school. I don't really use a lot of the math that I learned anymore because it's just not part of my field. But I really enjoyed it when I was doing it. Even calculus. It just feels really cool knowing how to solve like a really complex problem. It's a good feeling. Okay, so let's turn these guys around. So I can see their little bellies. So if we look at our math puzzle here, first one is easy. This one just needs to be turned to 3 o'clock. Which is this one. Turn him to 3 o'clock. Then if we look at the puzzle here, the one with the top needs to be turned to 12 o'clock. This one needs to be turned to 12. And this one needs to be turned to 6. This one. Oh, he was already turned to 6. Huh. That was easy. Okay, so easiest one to solve is probably just this one, which is 3 plus 6 equals 9. So the down arrow one goes to 9. 9 o'clock. Next easiest one to solve, probably this one. 3 plus 12 is 15. Plus... Ooh, no, we need to solve this one first because we need to know what this one is. Okay. 3 times 12 is 36. Divided by 6 is 6. So the one that goes to the right needs to go 6, which he already is at. Cool. At least we know now that this is 6, which is then 3 plus 12 is 15, plus 6 is 21, minus whatever this one was, which gives us 12, I think. Yeah, because 9, right? Yeah. So 12. So this one going back and forth needs to be facing 12 o'clock. And then this is the last one we need to solve, which is... shoot, what was this one? Was this 6? Yes, that was 6. Okay. 6 times 3 is 18. Times 6 is... Ooh, a big number. What's 18 times 6? That I don't know off the top of my head. Handy dandy calculator. 18 times 6 is 108, and then you divide that by, I believe that one was 12. Which is 12. Is 12 times 12 108? What? No, that doesn't... Wait, what? I'm confused. Is it 12? It's probably 12. No, it's 9. I typed that in wrong on my phone. It's 9. So this one goes to 9. Aha! We got it. Woo! Easter egg! This one's colorful. I like that. Cool. So now we've got 2 Easter eggs. Very fun. Very nice. I don't know how on earth anyone would find that Easter egg by accident. So I feel like just... there's just no way. How would you ever accidentally come upon that particular Easter egg? Do people get them originally from the strategy guides, I wonder? Or looking in the game files? I don't know, but that's probably the most likely way. Anyway, I think I'm going to leave this part right here. I will see you in the next part. Thank you so much for watching, fellow detectives. I will see you soon.